So, have you ever felt just an overall lack of motivation, lack of drive, just intense kind of sadness or hopelessness? Because I know that I have. And so, in this video, I want to talk to you guys about the reason that I stopped listening to secular trap music. And so I go to the gym, and for the longest time, I was able to justify listening to that music because I would say, oh, well, the beats get me excited. And even if, the cursing or the messaging is bad, I don't really listen to it because I'm lifting. And so I'm more focused on working out. But what we don't realize is those lyrics still find a way to get into your head. And whether it's the chorus or whether it's a super catchy part of the song, some way, somehow, the toxic messaging in that song is going to find a way to get in your head. And you're going to find yourself repeating that messaging throughout the day. And even if you don't just directly repeat it, you still think about the messaging in the song. And a great example of that is I remember the song Fiend by Travis Scott. I used to love that song. And so I saw it in, I think it was a Gatorade commercial the other day. And I was like, wait a second. I had never really known what the word fiend had meant. I just kind of assumed what it had meant. And I just assumed that it meant, oh, well, when you're fiending for something, it's just like a craving. So I just imagined that fiend meant someone who's craving something. And so then I looked it up after I saw that commercial, and it turns out that a fiend is actually a demon or an evil spirit. And what I didn't realize is, holy cow, this word that I'd been saying over and over again from having that song stuck in my head, I was actually saying that. And at that moment, I just couldn't believe it. And so it just made me grateful that I had stopped listening to that song and that I had started to replace songs like that with Christian trap music and music that has much more positive messaging. And that's another reason why on this channel, I want to do reviews talking about, Christian songs and good songs so that way people can be put on to good music that's not toxic, that still sounds really good, music that you can still relax to or work out to. And that's another reason why I record the shorts that I do, reacting to whether it's Forrest Frank or Cleo Soul or Madison Ryan Ward or whoever, but just to show everybody that there's a lot of really talented Christian artists out there. And they're making music that you can vibe to, that you can enjoy, that's actually got great messaging, music that's going to make you feel whole, music that's going to make you feel heard and make you feel good about where you are in life and where you're headed, and not make you feel like you're missing something. Because another thing with secular trap music is it can make you feel like, and especially when I was single, it would make me feel like, oh, I needed to have a lot of women. And if I didn't have a lot of women, if I wasn't going on multiple dates a week with women or whatever the case may be, if it was, a Friday and I didn't have a date scheduled with a girl, I would feel like I was somehow inadequate. I would feel like, oh, well, I'm listening to these guys bragging about how many women they have and I don't have any women. So I would start to think there was something wrong with me because I would think, oh, well, is everyone else living like this and I'm not? And if I'm not, then why? Why is that the case? And I didn't realize at the time that listening to music like that was only making me more and more insecure because I had this idea of like what it meant to be successful, which was having a lot of money, having a lot of girls, and all of those things. And I didn't have either. So I felt like a failure objectively. And so it also made me understand that listening to music like that, it made me hyper fixate on acquiring money and material things as well. And it made me feel like, okay, I'm not going to be successful until I have a closet that looks like DJ Khaled's or Chris Brown's, where it's just this like 2,000 square foot closet that's, floor to ceiling, shoes and clothes and all of that stuff. And I would think that if I'm not in a position to buy any pair of shoes that I want, then I haven't made it. And so what listening to a lot of Christian music has taught me is to not put so much energy and so much of who we are into the things that we own, because ultimately we don't own anything. We're all renting these things, because when we pass away and we go to join God in heaven, these things that we've bought, that we've accumulated, are going to stay here on earth. And so listening to those songs, it's always a great reminder for me. And so that's another reason why I love Forrest Frank so much, is because I feel like that message is really strong and evident in his music, of just being present and just being happy with what you have, and not feeling like you constantly have to strive to keep up with the Joneses and to buy everything that you see everyone else buying. And so the music, it's just a constant reminder. And of course, it's when you stop listening to secular, trap music and all of that, it's not something that's going to go away overnight. But what I've noticed is my ears now have become a lot more sensitive to what I'm taking in and what I'm listening to, whether it's a show on TV or just music in general, where it's like, I have days here and there where I'm at the gym and I'm like, oh, I want to listen to Lil Baby, or, I want to listen to, actually, Lil Baby is the main one, but I'll have days where I'm like, okay, well, I haven't listened to Lil Baby in a while, so I'll listen to him. But even after that, it might be a couple songs, and I'm like, okay, I don't really feel like listening to this anymore. So let me go back to my Christian music and all of that. Um, and so that's something I never thought would happen to me. Even when I first started listening to Christian music, I don't know if I ever would have seen the day where my ears would become so sensitive to music. And I mean, there's some artists that I still listen to. I still really like Coda the Friend. He's not necessarily a Christian artist per se, but I like the messaging in a lot of his songs where he talks about, taking care of yourself, and he's not rapping about just like getting women and doing drugs, and there's not much like really there's not much toxic messaging in his music. And so I really appreciate that. And also, I just love sonically the way that his music sounds, because he's got a very relaxed kind of lo-fi sound to his music, and sometimes for me that's just nice to relax to at the end of the day. And so I think another thing that's important is to ask yourself how music makes you feel that you're listening to. If listening to a song makes you feel sad and, gets you in your feels, it's probably not the song you should be listening to. And that's another thing that I've just become very aware of is, okay, what I'm watching, what I'm listening to, how is it making me feel? And even like regular just like pop music I don't listen to as much anymore. I'll still listen to some music, whether it's, sometimes I'll listen to Harry Styles, or I'm still a big country music fan, so I'll still listen to country music. But yeah, as far as that's concerned, I mean, I'll still listen to regular Afro beats here and there. But yeah, I've really just been enjoying discovering Christian, artists, because there are so many talented Christian artists who don't get the shine that they deserve. And so I'm hoping through this channel, I can give a lot of those guys the credit that they deserve, and that whether it's through reviewing their music or whether it's through reacting to it on YouTube Shorts, I definitely want to give them credit, because being an artist and creating music is tough. It's tough to do as a career, it's tough to earn an income from. And so, if there's any way that I can help some of these artists gain more popularity, to get more listens, not only is it going to help expand the kingdom of God, but it's also going to help these artists, and it's going to support them in their journey of creating music and creating music that glorifies God. And so that way, I truly think it's something where the more that people understand that there's good Christian music out there, and it's not just this kind of like weird, not, I want to say weird, but it's not this kind of I guess it's not all Christian music sounds the same, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is that You have really good indie Christian music. You have really good Afro beats that, Afro beats artists that make Christian music. You have really good rappers that make Christian music. And the sound is all very unique. It doesn't have the same sound across the board where you're listening to a song, you're like, oh, here we go again. Like there are numerous times where I've played Christian songs for my friends and they've been shocked that it's actually Christian music, because if it was the same beat, you would think that Gunna was on it, or you would think it was, Drake on the beat or whoever. But it's just so amazing that there's so many talented Christian artists out there. And because of that, I think that's another reason why I haven't really felt the urge to listen to secular trap music like that, because I've been discovering so many talented Christian artists that I'm like, well, why would I listen to music that, yes, still sounds good for me or sounds good, but it's toxic, when I could listen to music that sounds amazing and glorifies God? And so, yeah, you guys, I hope that this video brought you guys some clarity as to kind of why I'm taking my channel into the direction that I'm taking it into, with kind of just focusing more on Christian artists, Christian music reviews, just because I do want to draw the spotlight to them. And hopefully that, some of you guys can discover these artists as well, and also discover more Christian artists, because even though I've been discovering a lot of Christian artists, there's still plenty that I haven't discovered. And so, yeah, you guys, I hope you guys got value from this. I hope that you guys give Christian music a try, and that you guys understand that Christian music is music that should make you feel good about yourself, music that should remind you of the true purpose of life, and music that should bring you closer to God. And so, if you guys stayed through for this whole video, I appreciate you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to all of you guys in the next one.